to you by
Roberts Furniture,
Andrew Johnson Bank,
Hometown Realty and Auction, Marathon Quick Stop Markets, your Greenville Light and Power System, Mortgage Investors Group,
Corley's Pharmacy,
Gateway Ford, Nissan,
Greenville Metro Valley. And now, with the call, the voice of the Pioneers, Ryan.
So we welcome you back into the Pioneer Sports Network here at Tusculum University, where the Pioneers and the Bulldogs renew the rivalry. Wingate getting the last game against Tusculum 64-59. Tusculum outscored Wingate 22-12 in the first and 17-10 in the second. We gave up a 20-4 start to the third quarter and were outscored 22-16 in that fourth quarter. Tusculum put 4 in double figures. They were led by Jayla Arnwhite's 14 and Bree Dixon along with Maya Belton, each with 13 points apiece. Well, the Pioneers are hoping to sustain a lot of that offense here today against this Bulldog team, who will be shorthanded, and a team that, when you look at it, riding what they're riding, an 11-game winning streak. They're 9-0 in the league. They're ranked 24th in the country, and they have one of the best coaches by wins and loss records in the South Atlantic Conference in her 20-year career, 331 wins for Coach Ann Hancock, the 1992 graduate at Wingate University. We'll be with just 8 players today. Peyton Davis, Lauren Sullivan, A.J. Davis, Michaela Dyson not available today for Coach Hancock. So she'll go with Haley Brandon, the 6-foot graduate from Lexington, North Carolina. Hannah Clark, the 5'5 junior from Kings Mountain, North Carolina. Brianna Troutman, the reigning Conference Player of the Week, the 6'2 junior from Salisbury, North Carolina. Mayola Willis, the 5'7 senior out of Kennesaw, Georgia. And Jaya Wilson, the 5'5 junior from Mills River, North Carolina. And Hancock in her 10th year with Wingate, 193 wins at her alma mater, and is 14-6 all-time against the Pioneers. For the Pioneers at 5-8 on the season, 3-5 in the league, coming off that loss to Wingate. Prior to that, they had won 2 consecutive in 3 of their last 4. They'll go with Dee Sherman, the 5'8 senior from Cape Coral, Florida, getting her first start of the season, a 10.8 rebound game on that Monday afternoon in Wingate, North Carolina. Jayla Arnwhite, the 5'6 graduate out of Knoxville, Tennessee, by way of Bearden High School, who is in town later this evening. Elle Hutchinson, a start today, the 5'7 graduate from Cairns, Australia. Maya Belton, the 5'10 senior from Blythewood, South Carolina, leading this team in scoring this season as for her career, just under about 7 points a game, but this season 12.5 points per contest. And Bree Dixon, the 6-foot senior from Decatur, missing the first half of the season, has played in each of the last 3, is averaging 13 points a game for the Pioneers, and just under 7 points a game for her career. Our officials are Rob Fessler, Antoine Love, and Jessamine Bradley as we get set for this Wednesday afternoon, and the opening tip will be taken by the Pioneers. Tusculum coached by Megan Price in her second season, assisted by Evelyn Parsons, Alex Bowling, and Yana Mooring. A 3-ball by Belton is up off the mark, and this is no good, and a long rebound will go out of bounds off of the Wingate Bulldogs. We're underway. Brian Staten, courtside game station engineers, the executive producer of the Pioneer Sports Network, Nathan Humber. Glad you could be with us on a Wednesday afternoon, a Thursday in which a possible bad weather on that horizon. Bree Dixon will take a shot down the lane. This one hangs on the front of the rim and falls off no good. Rebound by Wingate. And here come the Bulldogs into the front court. First time setting up shop in the half court. This will be Clark back to the top of the key and into the hands of Brandon. Brandon will go to Troutman on the right wing, taken by Dee Sherman as Tusculum in a man-to-man. Troutman walks through the lane and a traveling violation against the Bulldogs. Tusculum did a good job against Troutman defensively. She was 4 of 12 from the floor. Wasn't on the floor a whole lot either. She was in some foul trouble, and so didn't see the floor a bunch. Finished with 9 points, but when they needed her, she came through, especially in that third quarter. Backdoor look for the Pioneers on their second offensive possession. A kick-out 3 for Hutchinson's off the mark. It's no good, and the rebound taken away by Wingate's Haley Brandon. Into the front court will be Clark. They move it right to left on your radio dial. At the top of the key is Brandon to Willis on the right wing at the three-point stripe. Looking to pass it inside. It's stolen as the Pioneers get a steal. That's Maya Belton. On the run into the front court will be Elle Hutchinson, who will slow it up and set up in the half court. No Jordan Rogers today. She had COVID, so she'll be out until Saturday. And so we'll see a lot of Elle Hutchinson running the point. This will be Belton to drive down the lane. Brandon comes up with the rebound on the missed shot. We are still scoreless. We played a minute and a half to start this basketball game. One of the top offenses in the South Atlantic Conference, this Wingate team. Ranked 4th in rebounding as well. They do that very well. Brandon, a step back three. This one's off the mark, no good. And Bree Dixon comes up with the board for the Pioneers. Into the hands of Hutchinson, who will take it across the stripe. Another player the Pioneers were anticipating back today was Sophie Henry, but she has not been cleared from the concussion she suffered against Lander on a Saturday in December. Dixon, kick back. This will be Shermond to three. Bang. Dee Shermond opens up the scoring, getting her first start. She is instant offense, but what I've liked about what she has brought to her game, the rebounding factor. She had 10 points, 8 boards against this Bulldog team the last time they stepped foot on the floor. 3-0 Tusculum with the basketball. Wingate. This will be Clark on a switch to the top of the key. Little step back three for her for the tie. It's no good. Long rebound by Shermond, who actually stepped out of bounds. A little friendly fire there as well. No communication between Belton and Shermond as they both were going after the same loose ball after the missed shot by the Bulldogs, who have gotten off to a slow start offensively here to start. They did that as well in that contest at Wingate on December 20th. But here's a jumper on the baseline for three on the inbound by Jaya Wilson, and that ties the game at 3. So Wilson connects. So in everything I just said. 7:20 to play here in this opening quarter. Tusculum basketball. This will be Dixon on the baseline, man-to-man against this Wingate Bulldog defense. Arnwine at the top to Belton, fires a three. Bang! 3 straight threes and consecutive possessions for these teams, and it's 6-3 Tusculum. Across the midcourt stripe with the basketball. That was Jayla Arnwine's 100th three-pointer for her career. So another milestone set for her, moving up the charts in Pioneer history. Spinning her way into the lane, this will be Troutman giving it up for Brandon. Had it knocked away and stolen by Dixon. Dixon on the run into the front court, and this ball is going to be knocked away and restolen by Jaya Wilson. Into the hands of, Wilson from Willis into the front court. On the drive is Clark right down the lane, off the glass, on through the cylinder. Nice take by Clark, who puts it up and in for 2. 6-5, Tusculum with the lead. We shared threes, we shared turnovers, and then a 2-point lay-in by Clark. Into the front court on the left side at the three-point stripe. This will be Maya Belton. Belton, who hit her 100th three-pointer, I should say, just seconds ago. Little foul line jumper here by Dee Shermond is off the mark, and that's no good. And the rebound taken away by the Bulldogs, who can take the lead for the first time on this possession. They trail 6-5. I said Jayla Arnwine, but it was Maya Belton. Sorry. My apologies. On the baseline drive, kick out, extra pass, 3-ball for Wilson, wide open, rims off, no good. Troutman with the rebound. She'll go up for the layup and score it. Bree Troutman stepped through a double team and gives the Bulldogs the lead at 7-6. Into the front court with the basketball will be Tusculum's L. Hutchinson. Hutchinson across the stripe on the left side. Into the paint for Shermond. Shermond, of course, the game's all about making shots. The Pioneers going to have to make shots. Arnwine on the left side, taken by Jaya Wilson. Her pass is tipped and nearly stolen. It was knocked out of bounds off Wingate. And with 7 seconds on the shot clock, the Pioneers will inbound left side front court. Arnwine, who has the 177 three-point field goals, 3rd all-time, tied right now with Nikki Van Dyne, but the 100th just moments ago by Maya Belton. Still has a few to go to get into that top 10 in school history with Susan Starnes, Casey Johnson, who have 108, 109 respectively. Dixon on the drive will lose possession of the basketball, losing it, and Troutman stealing it, and then Troutman losing it but getting it back. And then into the front court will come the Bulldogs, leading 7-6 as we approach 5 minutes to play in the opening quarter. Brandon on the left elbow on the dribble inside the three-point arc. Skips it from Wilson into the hands of Clark. Now Troutman in position in the paint. Turnaround jumper is up and good. A little fadeaway by Troutman, and she has given the Bulldogs their largest lead of 3 here in this opening quarter. 9-6. They didn't see a lead against Tusculum on December 20th until the second half. They lead it now by 3. From the top to the right side, 3-ball by Belton is in and out. It's no good. And the rebound, Troutman for the Bulldogs into the hands of Clark. One and done for the Pioneers. They want to hit the glass. and then a whistle for a foul on L. Hutchinson, and it'll be our first foul of the contest, which also takes us to a timeout on the floor. We'll take that break and return in 1 minute. 4:30 to play here in this opening quarter. It's the Wingate Bulldogs 9 and the Pioneers 6. This is Pioneer Basketball on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Tusculum versus Wingate. Once again, the voice of the Pioneers, Ryan.
Bulldogs lead 9-6 on a 6-0 run, and they have free throws coming for Hannah Clark here in just a moment. Tusculum with a very difficult week this week. 24th Wingate today, 10th ranked Catawba on Saturday. And the good news is that would be the second time they've seen these teams this year. Hannah Clark goes to the free throw line, a 20-point game in that come-from-behind victory against Tusculum on December 20th. And standing at the free throw line has been solid all year, a solid free throw shooting team. She makes both. It's an 8-0 run, and it's an 11-6 Wingate lead here in this opening quarter, where the Pioneers haven't scored in 3 minutes. Across the stripe, this will be Hutchinson on the dribble to the top of the key. This will be Bree Dixon. Dixon, the Walter State transfer for the Pioneers, missed the first half of the year, drives down the lane, a little floater is up and good. A little behind-the-back cut, getting into the paint, and on Eileen Hurley puts up the jumper from 8 feet and scores, ending the drought, and the Pioneers trail by 3. Across the stripe, this will be Hannah Clark. Clark across that midcourt stripe, standing at the top of the key, pass right side to Jaya Wilson. Wilson skips it left side. This will be Clark in the paint, knocked away by Dixon, but right back to Clark. Clark will step back with 10 seconds to shoot. A little tug of the jersey. This will be her go, and she'll step around Sherman. The runner is up and no good, and Sherman secures the rebound around Hurley. Into the hands of Dixon, who hands it off to L. Hutchinson. So one substitution into the game, 2 substitutions into the game for Wingate with that short bench. And Tusculum with the depth somewhat today. No Sophie Henry, no Jordan Rogers, but welcoming back Alyssa Walker. But how long will she go after that ankle injury? Belton step back 3 is good. Maya Belton with the 3 ball. The game is tied at 11 as the Pioneers go on a mini 5-0 spurt. 3:09 to play here in this opening quarter of action as the Pioneers get the tie. From the left side at the top of the key now is going to be Clark for Wingate. Wilson, Clark. Backs it out on the S of Pioneers, middle of the floor. Clark open for a 3 as going under the screen was Hutchinson. Missing the 3 was Clark, and the rebound by D. Sherman for the Pioneers. For the top shooting three-point teams in the league from three-point territory, they're 42%. Against Tusculum, they went 3 of 8 in that last minute. They don't take a bunch of them, and really don't have their sharpshooter from 3, Lauren Sullivan, today. So see how many more they may attempt. Dixon, driving around a defender, will draw a foul against Madison Lowry, the graduate out of Virginia Beach, Virginia. And she'll pick up her first personal foul. It'll be the first foul whistled against Wingate here in the opening quarter. Troutman to get a breather as back into the game will come Haley Brandon. See how Coach Hancock uses that bench. Mayola Willis will be back in for Madison Lowry. And even how Coach Price will use her bench as well. So Dixon goes to the free throw line. 68% at Tusculum, but this season, again in just 3 games, shooting 86% from the line. She knocks down the first to reclaim the lead for the Pioneers and made them both. 13-11 Tusculum. Wingate basketball as Tusculum answers the 8-0 run by Wingate with a 7-0 run of their own. Right side front court, Eileen Hurley. Clark, ball fake from 3, drives to the elbow, jumper rims off, pardon me, no good, and the rebound comes down to Sherman. Still getting back to shape for myself from last week just before the new year. It was a very interesting week in high school basketball around town. This will be Jayla Arnwine from the left side back to the top to Hutchinson. On the right side with 8 seconds to shoot. To the left side will be Dixon off the dribble for 2. This one is off the iron, no good, and rebounded by the Wingate Bulldogs, Haley Brandon. Long pass into the front court. This will be Clark. Clark drives into the lane around Arnwine. Shot it short. Rebounded by Arnwine for Tusculum. Arnwine's going to keep it herself and look to force some tempo. A little interesting pass, but it finds Sherman. A little floater down the lane. Skyhook. Good. D. Sherman to make it 15-11, and Tusculum, with their largest lead of 4, is on a 9-0 run. Into the front court, Wingate. For the Bulldogs, they are 0 for their last 4, and they haven't scored in about 3.5 minutes. Brandon, little kick out on the right baseline. Little step back two-pointer by Wilson off the back iron is no good. The Pioneers crash the glass, come up with another rebound. Tipped by Arnwine into the hands of Sherman. Pioneers get another rebound. Into the front court with the basketball. This is going to be Hutchinson. Under a minute to play in the opening quarter. Left side front court is Arnwine. Gets a screen from Dixon, who will get it back from Arnwine. Back to Arnwine with 10 to shoot. She'll try a 3. Bang. Another 3 ball that falls for the Pioneers, and they have the largest lead. They're on a 12-0 run. They have an 18-11 advantage on a 12-0 run over the last 3:40, and Wingate hasn't scored in 4 minutes. Wingate will try to get a bucket here in the final seconds of the first quarter, as Clark will hold it with 15 seconds. 10 seconds on the shot clock, a difference of about a second and a half. Clark from the left elbow, dribbling in the lane, and a whistle for a tie-up situation. And Wingate will keep possession. But what it will do, it kind of blows the whole theory here of getting the last shot and then getting possession to start the second, because the Pioneers will have possession to start the second now, barring another tie-up. So 5.5 seconds to play. First quarter, inbound situation for the Bulldogs. Will bring Troutman back into the game. So there was time on the shot clock. So there should be like 4 seconds to shoot because it's a tie-up, no change of possession. So I think they're going to put the shot clock time back up, which would be about 4 seconds, somewhere there about, because there was about a second and a half difference, game clock to shot clock. So they're just trying to figure out how to get 4 there. We have 4 on the left side. Will that count down or not? I don't know if it will. Inbound situation, Wingate baseline front court. It'll be Clark to trigger. Clark, Bernard. Yeah, it's not counting down. Bernard, though, drains the 3. It matters little, and that will end the opening quarter. So that will end the first quarter of play. Bernard knocking down the 3 for the Bulldogs. At the end of 1, it's Tusculum 18, Wingate 14. Pioneer basketball continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network.
The car and truck markets are currently experiencing some of the highest of highs and lowest of lows they've ever seen. If you've been waiting, sitting on the fence, or just simply procrastinating, now's the time for you to act. With the chip shortages that the automotive market's going through, it's driven the pre-owned.
We are in Granger County, Tennessee, here at Pierce Farms, and the Pierce family has been working with Ingalls for over 30 years. It means a great deal supplying produce as a local farmer. It really touches base knowing that we're just simple people just trying to help, and we love what we do, and Ingalls is a huge part of helping us do it. Farming is who we are, and it's in our blood. God has really blessed us with the sun and the soil to grow the best tomatoes you'll find anywhere. I believe it's really in the soil. So if you're in Granger County and you farm tomatoes, then you're in. Just a great blessing on us to actually farm and be able to farm and to supply tomatoes to people. And Ingalls really cares about family farms like Pierce Farms, and they really care about their customers.
Voice of the Pioneers,
Pioneers lead at 18-14. They end that first quarter on a 12-0 run. Then Haley Bernard with the 3 as the shot clock was winding down to give Wingate a 4-point deficit. Wingate hits 5 of 13 shots, 39%. Tusculum hits 6 of 13 shots, 46%. Led by D. Shermon's 5.4 rebound first quarter. Maya Belton finishing with 2 threes to give her 6 in that first half. Troutman and Clark each with 4 to lead Wingate. A little drive down the lane by Sherman going right at Troutman, and Troutman to start this second quarter of play is going to be whistled for her first foul and the team's first of this second quarter of action. 2 ties, 2 lead changes in that opening quarter as the Wingate Bulldogs led by as many as 5, Tusculum by 7 at 18-11. Sherman at the free throw line, 10 points, 8 boards in the 19 minutes she played against Wingate December 20th. And a big difference in that game was the free throw line. Wingate went there 31 times, Tusculum 11. Sherman goes 1 of 2, and Tusculum leads 19-14. It was warranted because Tusculum was fouling, and then in that third quarter when they were just grabbing anything, it was not moving your feet and really sent Wingate to the free throw line, got them in trouble. Whistle for a foul underneath against Bree Dixon, and another issue was Bree Dixon getting in foul trouble at Wingate as well. She eventually fouled out. She picks up her first here, team's first, and Wingate will inbound baseline front court. Clark to trigger for the Bulldogs, wearing their Navy uniforms with the old gold trim, white letters and numbers. Left side is Clark, watched by Maya Belton. Belton chasing Clark around a screen, and Clark gets the separation and drives it to the lane, puts it off the glass, banks it in. Hannah Clark, 19-16 Tusculum. Across the stripe, this will be Elle Hutchinson. Hutchinson on the dribble. No substitutions for the Pioneers still. Here in this second quarter we go. This will be Jayla Arnwine. Arnwine had it knocked away, but saved it is Dixon. Belton tries for her third 3. Looks like she overshoots this one. She does, and Jaya Wilson has the rebound for the Bulldogs, who have their starting 5 back on the floor as well. Brandon, Clark, Troutman, Willis, and Wilson. Here's Clark on the left side. Skip it right side to Willis. Baseline is Bernard, watched by Belton. And Belton will, a little tough call here against Maya Belton. She's going to be whistled for a foul. So where you could get away with maybe a little bit of just aggressive play in the opening 6 minutes of this game, that has now all of a sudden been relegated no-no. Okay. Inbound situation, baseline front court will be Clark for Wingate. Back out top of the key, Brandon into Troutman in the paint. Watched against Sherman, mishandles the dribble, stays in the lane forever, and finally gets the call. The 3-second lane violation against Troutman. Getting position, catching it, couple of dribbles, losing it, standing there was more than 3 seconds, and the Pioneers get the basketball back. Here comes a trap in front court. Hutchinson, Dixon, Sherman, extra pass, Arnwine, a 3. Bang. 22-16. Tusculum hits yet another 3. They hit 8 against the Bulldogs. They were on fire in the first half, and they just went frigidly cold in the second half from 3. Plus, they just couldn't get shots. They're 5 of 9 from three-point territory to start the game. Tusculum, big reason they lead by 6. Baseline Clark, offensive foul Willis, and the Pioneers get the basketball back. Willis whistled for her first and the team's second. It will turn the basketball over. It'll be the 5th turnover for Wingate. 6 points for Sherman, 6 for Arnwine, 6 for Maya Belton here in this early going for the Pioneers. Hutchinson, Dixon, and they're going to say she traveled. Tried to step through a double team, did. And the Pioneers will turn it over. It will be their 3rd turnover of the first half. So the Bulldogs will get it back as they have come with some pressure. They're going to probably pick their times and their moments to do this without the deep bench today. But the group that is on the floor is a group that's played a lot of minutes this year for Coach Hancock. Clark on the left side on the dribble, watched by Belton, driving it down the lane, off the glass, rebound tip by Brandon. Brandon will control it and then kick it out for Clark, fakes the 3, fakes the pass, takes the shot, missed it short, rebounded by Arnwine. Arnwine comes away with it for the Pioneers. I've noticed for the girls, it is not the put the hair up in the bun and make sure it doesn't dangle away. Sherman and Arnwine, Belton, Hutchinson all have that hair dangling today. So it's been a little bit of an issue getting it out of their face when they're trying to rebound and stuff. Shot by Shermond is off the mark and no good. Rebound taken by the Bulldogs, and into the front court comes Wingate. Troutman position in the paint, turnaround fadeaway, no good. Rebounded by Belton for the Pioneers. Did they turn it over? They did. Wilson with the steal. Her jumper's no good. Belton comes up with the rebound, and Belton looks to force tempo into the front court. Belton will get there by herself, wait for her team, and then Hutchinson will hold it in the front court. Tusculum leads 22-16. The Bulldogs are 0 for their last 4. They haven't scored in 2.5 minutes, and the Pioneers have the basketball. Dixon, with Troutman coming late, gives it up to Shermont. Drives it, kicks it out. Baseline 3 by Arnwine. No. And the rebound comes down to the Bulldogs. Wingate basketball on the run to the front court will be Clark. Clark, a little blow by Hutchinson, puts it up off the glass. It's no good. Again, there's some contact there. And we've had some light contact, and then we've had some contact and no call. So it's interesting to figure out here early. Pioneers nearly give it up. Shermont saves it. Dixon drives it, shoots it, missed it. Bernard came late, altered the shot. Rebounded by the Bulldogs, and here comes Wingate into the front court. 22-16, Tusculum by 6. Wingate basketball where they haven't scored in 3.5 minutes. On the baseline right side, Bernard, 3, no. Rebound, weak side, taken by Tusculum's Arnwine. Pioneer basketball, and they'll walk it into the front court. Arnwine, and they faced Wingate pressure here in this second quarter, where Tusculum is just 1 for 5 this quarter, but the Bulldogs are just 1 for 7. No substitutions yet for Tusculum in the game, as we are at 5.5 to play in the second quarter. Dixon driving it. Shermond taking a 3. Bang. D. Shermond doesn't flash the 3 very often, but has taken it in this game and leads this team in scoring with 9. 25-16, the Pioneers have the largest lead of the game. Wingate in a huge drought offensively. Will Troutman end it? Potentially. She's going to draw a foul. Was she shooting? It looked like she was in the act anyway. And this foul will go against Jayla Arnwine. And Troutman will go to the free throw line. At least she's standing there. I didn't know if she was in the motion of shooting a shot, but apparently was. Eileen Hurley into the contest. Jackson Douglas into the contest. And Madison Lowry into the game for Wingate. 3 subs for them. Troutman rattles out the first free throw attempt. Troutman, the reigning conference player of the week, a 4.4 rebound game going right now. Second free throw, good. Averaging 17 a game this season, Bree Troutman. Across the midcourt stripe with the basketball, this will be Bree Dixon for the Pioneers. Tusculum leading at 25-17. Under 5 to play in the first half. Dixon, watched by Lowry, spins on the dribble, got the ball knocked away, and is going to travel with it again. That's going to take us to a timeout on the floor. We'll take the break and return to Pioneer Arena right after this. 4:46 to play first half. Tusculum 25, 24th ranked Wingate 17. This is Pioneer Basketball on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Tusculum University is Tennessee's first university. Established in 1794, Tusculum's beautiful campus is nestled in the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Students from 31 states and 15 countries have found a home here. With nearly 60 areas of study, Tusculum can help you pioneer your path to success. Visit www.tusculum.edu or call 423-636-7300 to discover the Pioneer experience for yourself.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do.
Oh, for their last 6, no field goals in almost 5 minutes of play. Inside the paint, Eileen Hurley spin move is off the mark, no good. And a rebound by Maya Belton, who gets yet another rebound for Tusculum. Into the front court is Elle Hutchinson. No changes for that Pioneer basketball team. No changes at all in the game. Skip pass left side, Maya Belton. Belton on the drive, off the glass. Offensive foul. Wipe it off. Maya Belton whistled for her second, and that'll be team foul number 3 as well. But a good take by Belton, but good defense against the 2-3 zone by Wingate. Just standing their ground. Across the midcourt stripe is going to be Hannah Clark. Clark with 6 points, but she's 2 for 10 to start the game. Top of the key, right elbow. This will be Troutman. Lowry on a switch. Troutman keeping it, stepping through a double team off the glass, banks it in. Strong move to the baseline for Troutman, who makes it 25-19. Pioneer basketball with that lead of 6. Their largest lead just moments ago of 9. Right side front court, this will be Tusculum. Ball knocked away by Clark and saved by Douglas into the hands of Lowry. They force a turnover from the blind side, knocking the basketball away. Into the front court, Douglas will try a 3. No. Long rebound comes out to Bree Dixon. Dixon has it into the hands of Hutchinson. 7 turnovers for the Pioneers. Wingate has scored 6 points off those 7 turnovers. Tusculum has scored 3 off the 5 previous by the Bulldogs. On the baseline, this will be Arnwine working against the 2-3 zone, and a traveling violation against the Pioneers after Belton hits the 3. She didn't come down on both feet. She came down on one, then the other. So after you jump up in the air, that is a travel. So the Pioneers back-to-back possessions with turnovers back on defense against the Bulldogs, who trail 25-19. And the Bulldog team, yeah, they are 11-1 and then 9-0 in the league, but they're not blowing people away. They're playing solid basketball. 3 ball by Lowry. This is off the mark, no good, and the rebound for the Pioneers. They're winning some games big, but for the most part, I mean, they're playing solid basketball. It's a possession or 2 here or there, and they're getting wins. Dixon inside the paint. Sherman. Arnwine. Extra pass, Belton, a 3. Bang! Maya Belton. Good ball movement by the Pioneers that time, who had 4 turnovers over the last 2.5 minutes. And finally drained a big one, and it's 28-19 Tusculum, back to a 9-point lead. The Bulldogs won for their last 10, won for their last 11 as Troutman cannot hit. Rebounded by the Pioneers, Belton. Up ahead, D. Sherman beats everybody down the floor for a layup, put it up and in. Double-digit lead for the first time in the game. They held a double-digit lead against Wingate. I'm going to keep going back. That's the last game the Pioneers played, December 20th. They held a double-digit first-half lead against the Bulldogs, who then just blew away the Pioneers in the second half. Douglas will fire a 3 and answer for the Bulldogs. Jackson Douglas knocks down the 3. 2 for their last 12. Meanwhile, Tusculum's hit their last 3 shots, but again, they've been plagued by the turnover bug. This ball tipped away and will be out of bounds to the Pioneers. One official said it was going to be Wingate basketball, but no. The other official was right there on the spot. Coming up here at the half, a chat with one of our Pioneer assistant coaches ahead of their game with the Wingate Bulldogs here in the doubleheader today. They took a very tough loss a few Saturdays ago in December against the Wingate Bulldogs. Hutchinson at the top, Dixon on the left wing. Baseline is Arnwine working against Lowry. A little mismatch there. And then off the shoe top of Lowry, no. Jayla Arnwine just turns it over. Just trying to cross over dribble and crossed over, but then didn't dribble the basketball. Went out of play. 30-22, Tusculum into the front court with the basketball is going to be Wilson has taken over the point with Clark on the bench. Bernard into the paint. Eileen Hurley spins on Sherman. Jumpers off the mark, no good. Rebound comes out into the hands of Hutchinson, who's going to be tied up, and this will go back to Wingate. So they'll keep possession on the alternate arrow, just battling to get it back. Sherman with an 11.4 rebound game going for the Pioneers, and Belton a 9.4 rebound game. The inbound out of bounds was Wilson as she tried to throw it in. She was the first to touch it before she established in play. Hutchinson will take it across the stripe for the Pioneers. This 5 on the floor has gone the entire way this first half. Top of the key is Hutchinson. Bouncing it to Dixon. Down low, all alone is Sherman. Put it up, banked it in. D. Sherman, 13 points. 32-22, Tusculum by 10. Wingate basketball in the front court. Bernard, Lowry, under a minute to play in the half. And a whistle for an illegal screen. It'll go on Hurley. It'll turn the ball back over to the Pioneers. It's the third on Wingate. You can credit the men's basketball team for calling that screen out. They're in this baseline to my left. Cross the stripe into the front court, the Pioneers, who lead by 10, looking to extend. Bouncing it to Dixon. This play's covered up this time, however. Hutchinson, inside, outside. Belton drives it, will pull up for two, but draws the foul as the shot rims out. The foul will go against Madison Lowry. That'll be her second, and the Bulldogs' fourth with 25 seconds left in the half. And Maya Belton will go to the free throw line for the Pioneers. 17-point, career-high 15 rebounds against Newberry on December 15th, and then follow that with a 15-point, 13-rebound game on the road at LR. Both wins for the Pioneers. Free throw will rattle in good for Belton at 80%, make that 60% on the season, 65% for a career at the free throw line. And rattled in both, and the Pioneers have that 12-point lead, which is the largest of the basketball game, and now Tusculum will come with some mild token pressure, and Wilson will walk it into the front court as Tusculum backs off. Final 20 seconds of the half, no shot clock. Bulldogs ended the first quarter with a three. Can they gain some momentum going to the locker room? Wilson on the drive to the right elbow. Drives it down the lane on a double team. It rims off no good. Rebounded by Dixon, and she breaks out of the pack, but she's tripped up, and it will be two shots for the Pioneers with 1.9 to play. Haley Brandon, who was on the floor, inadvertently tripped up Dixon, who will be whistled for that foul. Brandon will pick up her first, team's fifth. So the Pioneers a chance to add to the lead, where it looked like Wilson may be able to knock down that running lay-in off the glass that didn't go. And then Dixon was looking to sprint out of the pack for a fast break. Is standing at the free throw line shooting two, where she misses the first of two shots. 7 3-pointers already for the Pioneers in this first half. Missed them both, and that will end the first half. That is the end of the first half, where the Tusculum Pioneers race out to a 12-point halftime lead. Coming up here at the half, a chat with one of our Pioneer coaches of Tusculum on the men's side as we preview Game 2 of our doubleheader, Tusculum and Wingate. At the half, it is Tusculum 34 and the Wingate Bulldogs 22 as you listen to Pioneer Basketball on the Pioneer Sports Network. as we welcome you back into the Pioneer Halftime Report. The Wingate Bulldogs went on an 8-0 run in that first quarter, and they came out of the under 5 break with another jumper to make it 11-6. But that's when Tusculum started their run, and just before the end of the first, went on a 12-0 run to lead 18-11 before Haley Brandon knocked down a 3 in the final second of the first to make it 18-14 at the end of one. Pioneers would grab their largest lead of 9 early in the second quarter, and at the under 5 break, it was 25-17. They would grab an 11-point lead, their first double-digit lead at 30-19, and then just before the half, Tusculum would get another bucket to make it 34-22. Bree Dixon missing 2 free throws right at the end of the first half, or it could have been 14. But I caution you, this is exactly the position the Pioneers were in when they played the Wingate Bulldogs on December 20th, and I'm sorry to keep going back to it. I'm sorry to keep harking, but it's the thing that is freshest in my mind. The Pioneers outscored Wingate 22-12 in the first, 17-10 in the second. Wingate scored 22 points in the first half, December 20th, and the Pioneers had 39. They had a larger lead and lost that game. So that's where we're just cautiously optimistic here early. Long way to go. For the Pioneers, 11 of 22 from the field, 50%, 7 of 13 from 3, 54%, and 5 of 8 at the free throw line. Already a better start at the free throw line in this game. For the Bulldogs, they're 8 of 28 from the field, 3 of 9 from 3, and 3 of 4 at the free throw line. The Pioneers get an 11.4 rebound first half from Maya Belton, but a 13.4 rebound game from Dee Shermont. 4 points, 4 boards for Bree Dixon, but with 5 assists in the first half. 6 points for Jayla Arnwine. The 5 that started are the only 5 that played in that first half for the Pioneers. For the Bulldogs, they went a little deeper in their bench, but starter Brianna Troutman finishing with 7 points, 4 boards, 6 points for Hannah Clark, 3 points, 5 boards for Haley Brandon, 3 points for Jaya Wilson, and 3 points for Jackson Douglas for their total of 22. Wingate a 10-8 advantage in the paint and 5-0 on fast break, or I should say second chance points. Tusculum did out-rebound Wingate 17-15 in the first half. On 11 made shots, Tusculum had 10 assists. 9 turnovers, though. No blocks and 2 steals. Wingate had 4 assists on 8 shots made, 7 turnovers, and 4 steals in the first half. More halftime when we return in 30 seconds. At the half, it's Tusculum 34, Wingate 22. Pioneer basketball continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network.
It's fine. It'll be okay, okay? Nobody cares about the flowers. Who needs flowers at a wedding?
At Ingalls, we know that the best of plans don't always go according to plan.
My best friend's getting married today and the florist never showed.
That's why we're always there when you need us.
What are their colors?
Purple and cream.
With smiling faces and helping hands.
No one cares. No one cares. You will look great. Flowers are not important. And where is Holly? Have anyone seen Holly?
And although life will be predictably unpredictable,
let's get you to that wedding.
A curveball is that much more satisfying.
I got the flowers!
When you knock it out of the park.
Oh my.
In the South Atlantic Conference, Lenoir-Rhyne and Queens are postponed LR with COVID. Limestone and Mars Hill postponed. Limestone with COVID. And Newberry and Lincoln Memorial postponed LMU with COVID. So Catawba's at Anderson tonight at 5:30. Newberry and Queens decided to play, moved from their January 26th showdown, and UVA-Wise is at Carson Newman later today. Wingate, the 24th ranked team in the country, is 9-0 and 11-1, and then we've got Catawba, 10th in the country. They're 8-0, 11-0 overall, coming in on Saturday. Thanks for listening to the Pioneer Halftime Report. We're back with the second half after this with your score at the break. Tusculum 34, Wingate 22. Pioneer basketball continues here on the Pioneer Sports Network. Spot. Can have Tusculum leading 34-22. Glad you could stay with us this afternoon. Game 2 is Tusculum Wingate to tip around 4 o'clock. Pioneers have the same 5 on the floor they've had since the opening tip to start the second half, and they have the basketball. Brian Staten courtside, game station engineer, the executive producer of the Pioneer Sports Network, Nathan Humbert. Hutchinson, who took no shots in the opening half, drives it down the lane, misses it, gets her own miss back, and a second chance opportunity for the Pioneers. Here's Maya Belton against a zone by Wingate. Hutchinson's 3 is blocked by Troutman to Clark. Clark will race it down the floor, drive it on Dixon, give it up to Willis. Layup is good. Wingate with the defensive pressure, and Troutman gets a big-time block against Hutchinson on the 3 attempt, and it's a 34-24 Pioneer lead. 1-3-1 zone by Wingate. Dixon, Belton 3, no. Sherman had the rebound, couldn't hold it, and it's loose and picked up by Willis of Wingate. Bulldog basketball into the front court. They trailed 39-22 at home December 20th at halftime. Rallied to get the win against the Pioneers. And Troutman with the pull-up jumper, easy 15-footer there. And it's 34-26, 4 straight for Wingate. And a timeout asked for by the Pioneers. So not a good start to the second half for Tusculum. We'll call a timeout. That takes us to a break. 8:51 to play in the third quarter. It's Tusculum 34 and Wingate 26. Pioneer basketball continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Johnson City Toyota is the #1 Toyota dealership in the Tri-Cities because we make buying simple. First, we discount every vehicle every day, and we stand behind what we sell with a lifetime warranty. For more, simply go to johnsоncitytoyota.com.
The first date. Only one chance to make that first impression. Don't worry, this might be new for you, but Ingles has been there before. From flowers to the freshest ingredients, we have everything you need to put your best foot forward.
I'm so sorry.
Remember, you can't get to happily ever after without once upon a time.
Wow, funny running into
Ingles, all the ingredients for family.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle.
Versus Wingate. Once again, the voice of the Pioneers, right?
34-26 out of the Pioneer timeout. Tusculum with the lead, but 4 straight to start the second half for the Bulldogs. Tusculum trying to penetrate on the dribble against this zone. Long 3 by Dixon, no good. Kick out 3 for Arnwine again. This one is good. Jayla Arnwine knocks down a 3. So the 3 ball, very effective for the Pioneers in the first half. 7 of their 11 made shots came from the perimeter. Wingate, Troutman in the front court to Clark on the left wing. The best 3-point shooting team in the country by percentage, Wingate. And they're starting to show off the dribble as here's Hannah Clark with a pull-up jumper that's good from about 18 feet. 37-28 Tusculum. Hutchinson, right side to Belton. Dixon, extra pass Arnwine, left side 3, looks short. It is, but weak side rebound tracked down by Sherman of the Pioneers. Dixon, Arnwine against this zone. Open is Hutchinson 3. This one's strong and no good, and the rebound to the Bulldogs and Brandon. Wilson will take it into the front court for Wingate. Brandon at the top. Back to Wilson on the dribble, watched by Hutchinson. On the right wing is Hannah Clark, watched by Arnwine. Little backdoor look for Wilson. Then the trailer is Troutman. Runner is no good. Got her own miss. Put it up again and in. As Bree Troutman has come off very strong here in this second half, just like Wingate did December 20th. 37-30. Tusculum by 7. They've led by 12 against a 1-3-1. Clark aggressive on Hutchinson. Into the front court on the right wing, and a whistle for a foul on Clark. A little too aggressive, and Clark's going to pick up her first. Team foul number 1. She sat the waning moments of the first half, did Clark, about the final 4 minutes. So she is well rested. A Pioneer 5, again, coming off a week where they kind of shut down due to some COVID, but that was before they all got back together as a team. So worried about their legs, but apparently they're just fine. Near steal it is. Mayola Willis in front for the steal on the cross-court pass. Whistle on a block going against the Pioneers, and Hannah Clark will go to the free throw line. Foul will go on Elle Hutchinson, which will be her second and the team's first. Alyssa Walker is back, is dressed after turning an ankle against Lander. No Sophie Henry today. Again, they thought they had her yesterday in shoot around, and that changed. The bucket did not go. It is 2 shots. Yeah. We have seen this type of trickery. What are we doing? It's 2 shots. So she missed the first, but the whistle blew as she was shooting it. So she gets the second opportunity and makes this one. But, really, she was kind of thrown off because she was in mid-shot when the whistle went off. And Clark made both. Clark, who is 4 for 4 at the free throw line now with 10 points. Troutman has 11 to lead the way for Wingate. Pioneers continue to turn it over. Steal, drive, Clark, layup, good. It's a 3-point game just like that for Wingate. 34-22 at halftime, 37-34, and another turnover. Another steal for Clark. Clark with the steal for Wingate. Driving it, gives it up to Brandon, puts it up, puts it in, whistle, foul, and 1, and the chance at a tie. But it's the turnover, and Hutchinson whistled for the foul. It'll be her third and the team's second, and Brandon with the chance to tie this thing up. I have seen this story before. Into the contest, the first substitution of the game will be Lexi Patty, the freshman from Maryville. As Hutchinson will come out, that's the problem, though. Jordan Rogers, who is the backup one to Sophie Henry, who's the starting one, and both of those are out. So Hutchinson was going to give as many minutes as she could, but couldn't. And now we are tied at 37, just like that. 37-37. Over the last 2 minutes, it's a 10-0 run. Arnwine smothered, tied up, Wingate basketball, and a chance for the lead. Again, they have just flipped the switch here in the second half. A completely different team than they were in the first half. And the Pioneers are as completely polar opposite from what they were in the first half. And the Bulldogs on an 11-0 run. The Pioneers, 4 turnovers in the last 2.5 minutes. Troutman down the lane, runner is no good. Offensive rebound putback is no good by Brandon, and then she's tied up, and the Pioneers will have the basketball. And then Troutman gets in the face of Belton, who should be teed up just like the Pioneers were teed up the last time they played, just for saying words. Completely, totally different officiating crew, and handled it completely the right way this time than they did December 20th. That crew, I'm not sure what they were doing. Well done. 37-37, Tusculum and Wingate are tied. Patty, Sherman, Dixon in the corner is Arnwine, a 3. Bang. Pioneers get the lead right back, but how long? Wingate with the basketball and 5.5 to play here in this third quarter. You knew they weren't going away. Troutman on the right elbow extended, watched by Sherman, spins once, twice, puts up the shot, count it 1. Troutman right through Sherman, who stayed in front of her and did a pretty good job staying in front, but it was Belton that came late. So Belton has picked up number 3, team's third. Troutman's free throw to tie it again. She does, and so we are tied at 40. Pioneer basketball again. Again, the 3 ball has been kind. Tusculum has hit 9 in the game of their 13 made shots. Belton, Dixon, Patty. Patty on the left wing. Anticipating was Clark. Nice job by Patty. Arnwine wants a screen, gets it. Troutman comes over to help. All around the perimeter, Wingate much more aggressive. Inside the paint is Sherman. Off the glass, missed it. Got it back, put it up, drew the foul. Well, she didn't score it initially, but good ball movement to at least get a look in the paint where Tusculum has been dominated. And Troutman has picked up her second foul. Troutman has brought her A game. Timeout. We'll take it back in a minute. 4:53 to play in the third. It's Tusculum 40 and Wingate 40. Pioneer basketball continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Broken windshield, take one.
Sports Network. Tusculum versus Wingate. Once again, the voice of the Pioneers.
4:53 on the clock, third quarter. Tusculum and Wingate tied at 40 for the moment. Sherman makes the first free throw, but it is a completely different third quarter for the Wingate Bulldogs as they have rallied to tie it, as they have outscored Tusculum 18-8 here in the third. That Tusculum has scored. That's another thing. They've actually scored, so we're going with that. That's fun times. Last December 20th, Monday, that Monday before Christmas, Tusculum just didn't score in the third, but are scoring here. So Sherman with those two, and D, another solid outing for getting her first start as a Pioneer. Has equaled her career best. She had a 15-point game last year against Coker. In about 8 minutes, she scored those 15 points. So has equaled her career best with 15.6 rebounds. 3-ball here by Clark is no good. Hurley tracks down the rebound, but taken away by Sherman. The Pioneers force tempo. Sherman into the front court. Gives it up to Dixon. Patty on the left wing against this zone, which has been extremely effective for Wingate in turning Tusculum over. Arnwine a three. If they can keep hitting, it'll be different. But a rebound by Willis, weak side for Wingate on the miss. Into the front court, diagonal pass. Clark driving it down the lane on Patty. Got away with that extra step, unlike Arnwine in the first half. But the shot, the runner is missed, and the rebound by Sherman. Long pass front court to Arnwine. Clark is back, but Arnwine splits the defense, drives to the lane, and puts it in. 44-40, Tusculum. Under 4 to play here in the third. Fast break opportunity. Tusculum getting out and running, and Wingate has used the bench, using it now. Hurley in the game. Willis driving on Patty, count it 1. Patty defending the play, but Willis too strong and will earn a trip to the stripe as Lexi Patty's going to pick up her first, team foul number 4. Back into the game will come Troutman. So the Pioneers with some problems at that one position. Elle Hutchinson with 3 fouls. Patty's picked up 1. No Jordan Rogers, no Sophie Henry today for Coach Price as Willis knocks home the 3-point play the old-fashioned way, and it's a 1-point Pioneer lead. And expect this back and forth. Of course, Bree Dixon, who did play point guard at Walter State for 2 seasons, can't handle that. Sherman in the paint against Troutman. Dixon, her pass is deflected by Willis, as Belton was waiting wide open in the corner for a 3. So it will be an inbound for the Pioneers. On the inbound will be Belton. We'll throw it into Jayla Arnwine. Dixon, Patty, Sherman was on the baseline. Dribbled there, took up the space. Skip pass right side, Belton. Catch and shoot 3 is well short. And it will actually go out of bounds. And then Wilson boxing out on Arnwine, tripped her off out of play, but the ball had already hit the inline. Wingate basketball chance to take their first lead since the first quarter on this possession. And Wilson will try for all of it for 3. It's no good, and the rebound by Lexi Patty. And Coach Hancock said, not what we needed, not the shot we needed. We are the best three-point shooting team by percentage in the country, but not there. Belton for three, no. We rebounded by Brandon. Brandon with the board, her 8th of the game. Into the front court will be Wingate, another chance to claim the lead. Don't give him too many chances. Baseline is Brandon. We'll back it out on the left wing. Lobbing it to Troutman, watched by Sherman. Spins once, twice, jumper, good. And Brianna Troutman has given the Bulldogs the lead at 45-44 here in the third quarter. Again, their first lead since it was 11-9, I believe. Top of the key with the basketball. This will be Lexi Patty handling it, the true freshman for the Pioneers out of Maryville, Tennessee. Dixon, foul line jumper, back iron is no good. And the Pioneers laboring. They've missed their last 3 shots. Here comes Clark, racing it into the front court to Wilson. Wilson on the right wing, driving on Belton, draws a double team, passes out of that to Willis. Willis to Clark at the top. Clark lobbing it back to Troutman on a double team. May have walked, got away with it, did spin twice, and then is eventually called for the 3-second lane violation. Well, the Pioneers a better job in hemming in Troutman that time. Pioneers are just 3 of 14 shooting in this quarter, where the Bulldogs are 9 of 15. 21% for Tusculum, 60% for Wingate. Pioneers down 1, haven't said that often, and haven't scored in 2.5 minutes. Right side, Dixon from the elbow, drives it around Troutman with some contact and will go to the line. Pioneers didn't get to the line enough against Wingate that first go-around with them. Troutman's third, team's third. Eileen Hurley in for her. Pioneers were just 9 for 11 at the free throw line. That's great percentage. That's great numbers. They only went 11 times to Wingate's 31 trips on December 20th. Dixon, who missed 2 at the end of the first half, wondered how it may affect the team. Probably didn't affect him at all. Does make the first, but the fact is that Wingate has come out on fire here in the third. They have outscored Tusculum 23-12, but Tusculum has reclaimed the lead. 46-45 in the third with 1:25 to play. Right side front court, this will be Willis around Patty in the lane, off the glass, banks it in. And the lead back for Wingate, 47-46. Taking advantage of that true freshman a bit. They have gone to Willis. First time she's touched the ball all game. Right side front court is Patty. Top of the key is Dixon. Left baseline Arnwine, a 3, looks short, and it is. Long rebound tracked down by Belton. Maybe the legs going. Sherman in the paint, off the glass. Oh my gosh, wipe it off. You've got to be kidding me. What a flop. I've never seen a flop so effective. How can you be that fooled? Wipe off the bucket. Sherman is whistled for an offensive foul. There was barely any contact whatsoever, and they called the offensive foul on Sherman. He'd hate seeing that one again. Hurley at the other end is no good. Rebounded by Belton for the Pioneers. 47-46, Wingate by 1. A tough call going against Tusculum moments ago. They get a good defensive stop. Tusculum's 1 for their last 7. And no field goals in the last 3.5 minutes. Belton trying to answer that for 3. It's no good. Long rebound comes out to Clark and starts a 2-on-2 break. Clark will go right at Arnwine, stop, then throw it away. Bree Dixon with the steal for the Pioneers. Long pass up ahead to Arnwine. Waits and tries to get it to Sherman. Eventually gets there. It was ugly. And then out to Dixon, a 3. That's no good. Sherman battles for the board. It won't go. And the Pioneers, who led by 12 at halftime, will trail by 1 going to the 4th. At the end of 3, it's the 24th ranked Wingate Bulldogs 47 and Tusculum 46. Pioneer basketball continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Broken windshield, take 1.
Hey guys, my windshield just got broken. I feel like I need to blow off some steam. Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
Mr. Blanks, there's no need to be stressed. Geico makes it easy to file a claim online, on the app, or over the phone.
Yeah, but what if I never hear back? That's gonna make me want to go, check.
Nope, your Geico claims team is always there for you.
That makes me want to celebrate with some fireworks. 5, 6, 7, go. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah!
Geico. Great service without all the drama.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Tusculum versus Wingate. Once again, the voice of the Pioneers, Ryan.
So we welcome you back into Pioneer Arena. Tusculum trails 47-46. They hit just 14 of 39 shots for the game, but just 3 of 17 in that third quarter. Wingate, meanwhile, 10 of 17 in that quarter, 18 of 45 for the game. They are playing like the fresher team despite having only 8 players on their bench. They played everybody in the game. Pioneers have not, and they have only subbed 1 person in the game. 3 ball by Brandon is no good. Weak side rebound by Willis for Wingate. So this Pioneer basketball team, they're playing like they're the tired team. I mean, their legs are short. Hurley in the paint, no good. Rebound tipped out right to Jayla Arnwine for Tusculum. So again, there's that. It's just that. But Tusculum, of their 14 made shots, 9 have come beyond three-point territory, and they labored from 3 in that third quarter. As a matter of fact, 2 of 13 in the quarter. Pioneer basketball. Patty tries a 3. This one looks off the mark. It is. Rebound, weak side, Willis for Wingate. Tusculum is struggling. Clark on the right side. Willis. Hurley. On the weave, kick out right side Clark. Hurley positioning in the paint. Left-handed hook shot is good. Largest lead since the first quarter for the Bulldogs. They lead it by 3, 49-46. Hurley, not a bad low post move either, by the way. By the way, winter weather advisory has just been issued, ending tomorrow night. Arnwine a 3, taking her time, but it won't go. They can't find the cylinder here in this second half from three-point territory. They've hit 2 in the half, but they hit 7 in the opening quarter. Or I should say opening half. 8:10 to play in the game. It's a 49-46 game. Wingate. Clark, a little bump, little slight contact despite a lot of the stuff that has gone on early in the game. But Arnwine knew it. It'll be her second personal foul. And against the Pioneers, their first. So Hutchinson will come back in with those 3 fouls. It has been the 1. Sophie Henry, who was injured in that Lander game on December 11th. Thought we'd have her back today. It's not the case. And then Jordan Rogers, recovering, will be back hopefully Saturday. Hannah Clark to the free throw line where she scores 2 more. And it's a 51-46 game for the Bulldogs. They've come full circle. But again, we've seen this story before and anticipated it. Dixon at the top of the key. Arnwine on the left wing. Dixon. Sherman cutting down the lane. They have to figure out more there. Sherman with the jumper in the paint because Sherman is almost unstoppable and she gets the ball there. And the offensive foul that was called against her was just a difficult one to accept. It was a great defensive flop, I guess it was a play, but it was a flop as Sherman with very little contact there. And it was dangerously close to the restricted. Clark splits a double team, difficult. Bernard rebound and draws the foul. Pardon me, Brandon. I'm getting Haley Bernard, who I had last week, messed up. And now Arnwine has picked up her 3rd personal foul, team foul number 2, as Brandon will go to the free throw line. The graduate out of UC San Diego, knocking home the first from Lexington, North Carolina. (52-48) as she knocks home the first, missing the second, and rebounded by the Pioneers. Hutchinson across the stripe for Tusculum. Arnwine to Belton. New career best for Dee Sherman, her 17 points. Right side, Belton. Shermont at the foul line on Hurley. Runner, count it 1. It's there all game. Shermont is a tough guard in the paint, and I'm surprised it's taken us that long to figure it out here in the second half. It's just not been able to get there, as Troutman's done a good job, but she's out with her 3 fouls, at least for the moment. Shermont will draw the foul against Hurley, which is her second, and Shermont knocks down the 3-point play, and it's a new career best, obviously. Every point she scores from here on out. 20 points, 7 boards for D. Shermont. It's 52-51, Wingate. Wilson driving on Belton. Runner's too strong and no good. Rebounded by Arnwine. Forcing it into the front court. Here comes Dixon. Dixon, give it to Shermont. She's open as we go to, I'm coaching, sorry, Belmont. Belton at the top to Arnwine and into the hands of Hutchinson. Hutchinson bouncing it dangerously close to Brandon. They get it to Shermont, skip it to Hutchinson. Baseline jumper for the lead is good. 17-footer for L. Hutchinson. 53-52, and back come the Pioneers, back and forth. But they didn't have the fourth. They had enough back, but they never could get to the fourth, right? Do they have a steal? It's pinballed around. Willis will have it. It's an unfortunate foul on Arnwine because she's on the floor coming up with a loose ball. It's just one of those really tough plays. It'll be her 4th foul. Arnwine with 4. Troutman is back in with her 3 for Wingate. And with 5:56 to play, Arnwine going to stay out there. Left side front court, this will be Mayola Willis. Give it back to Wingate. They had forced the turnover, and then lunging on the floor for it was Arnwine, and Willis, who had just come up with it, tripped over her while she was on the floor. Troutman back on the floor. Jumper from 16 feet is good. And Wingate reclaims the lead. 54-53. Back in front go the Bulldogs. But the Pioneers have rallied here in the second half. They've made 3 of their last 3 shots. And a lot of that's been going into the paint. Get paint touches. Hutchinson skips it. Baseline is Dixon. Touching it to Shermont off the glass. Cannot stop her. Can only hope to contain her. 55-54, Tusculum back in front. 5:10 to play in the game. Left side front court, Mayola Willis backing her way in. 3 ball by Clark, good. A rare 3 in the game for Wingate, and it gives them a 2-point lead. 57-55. Arnwine, Belton at the top to Hutchinson. Hutchinson. Shermont had displaced, but would have gone against Troutman. Belton cutting in the paint. Little pull-up jumper from inside the foul line is good. We're tied at 57. 57-57. A lot going on here in the start of the 4th quarter. Right side is Wilson. Wingate have rallied from a 12-point deficit, and Belton at long reach forces a turnover. Up ahead, Belton runs the floor. Layup, missed it. Missed the lay-in, and the rebound comes down to Wingate. But she did the hard work. She got the ball for us. Just couldn't get the easy thing to go in. That was that layup. 57-57. Here's Troutman at the top. Skip it right side, Wilson. Driving baseline on Belton. She dribbles it off her shoe, saves it before it goes out of play. 10 seconds to shoot for Clark. Clark watched by Hutchinson. Gets a screen. Hutchinson goes under the screen. Clark drains the 3. Don't go under the screen. Go around it. 60-57. Tusculum down 3. Wingate's Clark has hit back-to-back 3s. They are 2 of 4 from 3 here in this second half. The best 3-point shooting team in the country. Arnwine says we're pretty good. Knocks down the 3. Ties it at 60. And it's from way downtown, Fruitcake. During this festive time. Nathan made some homemade nougat. Not saying it reminded me of fruitcake, but it sort of does, you know? It doesn't taste like fruitcake. Wingate, spinning. Clark did travel, did shoot, did miss. Rebounded by Belton. Pioneers get a stop. Hutchinson with it into the front court. Bouncing it to Dixon. Left side, in the paint is Shermont. And they're going to get her for a travel. Timeout on the floor. We'll take the break and return to Pioneer Arena. 3 minutes to play in the game. Tusculum 60, Wingate 60. Pioneer basketball continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network. Here's Ryan State. 60-60. Tusculum, Wingate. Pioneers have just turned it over for the 15th time in the game. Wingate has 13 points off the previous 14. Pioneers who have gone with a 6-person rotation today. 8 players on the bench for Wingate all have played. Troutman, best player on the floor for Wingate here in this game. Her runner in the paint is no good. Rebound taken by Tusculum and Hutchinson. Pioneers survive it. Troutman has 18. Clark has a quiet 20. Yeah, quiet, but she's hit back-to-back threes on her last 2 shots. She had 20 in that Game 1 win December 20th against the Pioneers. Backdoor is Hutchinson. Gets some separation. Missed the layup. Rebound. Hutchinson throws it off Brandon out of play. Hutchinson, again, 2 missed layups by the Pioneers. And they're going to call the timeout. They've hit 6 of their last 8 shots, but they've hit 6 of their last 8. The ones they've missed have been the easiest of all. Belton with a steal, long pass as Belton ran the floor, missed a fast break layup, and then Hutchinson just took her time and still couldn't score. Well, the Pioneers, who have shot 6 of 10 this quarter, are 9 for 27 this half, 33%. 20 of 49 for the game for the Pioneers, 41%. Wingate's 22 of 55 for the game, 40%. They're shooting 14 of 27 this half, and they are 4 of 10 in this quarter. They outscored Tusculum 25-12 in the third quarter. They've owned Tusculum in the third quarter this season. But we are tied at 60 here in this one. On the lob on the inbound, Dixon tried to draw the contact. No. Dixon is just 6 points. She's 1 for 8 from the field. Tied at 60. Clark down the lane, right to the rim, put it up and in. Blew by Arnwine with those 4 fouls. 62-60 Wingate. Back and forth we go here in the second half. After the Bulldogs had the massive third quarter run. Hutchinson, pull-up jumper off the dribble is too strong, no good. Sherman trips, goes to the floor. The ball's loose. Maya Belton took a shot to the face from a shin while she was on the floor. And a tie-up situation as Belton ties it up. And I guess the Pioneers keep it. We'll see the little arrow thing up there. We don't have Bobby Milburn today, so that's a big miss. But we got Johnny Painter, so that's good stuff. Belton on the inbound for 3. That's no good. Dixon diving on the floor for it. And it will be Pioneer basketball. On the second effort, hustle. And Hancock, in our December 20th meeting, Hancock was very, very active. She was on the floor a lot. Here, she was told to step back. She didn't argue a whole lot. She did wonder. We didn't touch it. She's on that end of the floor. Here on this side, it looked definitely like Brandon hit it going out. Sherman for 3 in the lead. In and out, no good. And the 3 has dried up here in the second half for the Pioneers. Hutchinson for 3. No, that's off the mark. A whistle for a foul as Arnwine, going in for a rebound, is shoved to the floor apparently. Mayola Willis whistled for her second, the first on the team here this quarter. And Tusculum going through their timeouts here now. They have one left with 1:22 left in a 2-point game. Tusculum's 0 for their last 6 after they hit 6 of 8, so they're up and down. They haven't scored in 2:13. They've been led by a career best from Dee Sherman, her 22 points, 7 rebound effort. 17 from Arnwine. She's hit 5 3-pointers in the basketball game. Tusculum has hit 10 3-pointers as a team, but only 3 of them have come this half. As tired legs, I think, a little bit. They have the deeper of the 2 benches, but they haven't used the bench. Arnwine, who has hit 5 3-pointers, she did that against Newberry this year. Her career best was 6 last year against LMU. On the inbound, Sherman for the tie, layup good. She has 24. Dee Sherman. I'll say this, Jim Miller and I have been waiting for this because we believe Sherman is that untapped offensive weapon. They're going to get Sherman for a foul here, trying to defend the best player in the league this week, and Breonna Troutman. Dee picks up her second, number 4 on the team. Inbound situation is Troutman. Trying to back her way in. Offensive foul, number 4 on Troutman. Lowered the shoulder that time. Sherman sold it. Yes. Did go to the floor. Yes. Had that happen to her earlier this half. Yes. It did happen. 62-62. 1 minute to play. Pioneers, Bulldogs, and a pass that's off of Arnwine out of play, and Tusculum turns it over on just an exchange. A huge miscue. Turnover number 16 on the Pioneers. They average 21 a game. This one could hurt. Wingate basketball. Clark to Troutman on the right wing. Brandon, Clark. Clark lobbing it. Troutman, after it was tipped, gets it. Troutman backing her way in on Sherman. Clark left open for 3. Belton runs after her, and it'll be 2 shots for Clark. So Belton running after her, trying to make sure she didn't get an easy 3 off. Belton will pick up her 4th. That's 5 team fouls on the Pioneers. So 2 shots at the free throw line for Clark, who has been perfect. And she knocks home the first. She's 7 for 7 in the game. 23 for Clark. Again, it's been quiet. But, you know, she's 7 of 19 from the floor. She's hit 2 threes. And a timeout, the final by the Pioneers here in the basketball game. It's 64-62 Wingate. And again, the Wingate Bulldogs have just kind of done this, you know, all year. They're not blowing people out. They didn't lose by a bunch. It was a 4-point loss when they opened up the season earlier this year. Now they've won 11 straight games. I mean, you look at what the Bulldogs have been able to do. You know, their scoring margin isn't that much. It's not that great. As a team, they lead Division II in 3-point percentage. They rank 4th in rebound margin. They're a plus 12 per game. They're second in scoring. It's 75.8 points a game. And they shoot 45% from the field to rank 2nd in the league. They're doing a lot of that offensively. Much of what they're doing defensively is what you look at from this perspective. They're going to the free throw line and making shots. They are going to the playing solid defense. They opened up in a zone here in the second half. It really confused Tusculum for a long time. They just couldn't figure it out. And so it's just been interesting. So inbound situation for the Pioneers. Looking back door for Dixon. Ball knocked out by Willis. And a good reach by Willis in order to knock that ball away. And with the basketball back, we'll say Tusculum. So now they have an inbound baseline front court. See how that changes things here. Hutchinson, Dixon. Runner, no. Sherman, no. And no call. Good defense by Wingate. 25 seconds to play. Brandon, the pass is thrown away. Who will get there first? Wilson had it, went to the floor with it. Timeout Wingate. 17 seconds to play. And underneath the bucket, Coach Price wanted a foul, did not get that call. So unfortunate underneath the bucket. And again, more for this Wingate team. Checking time on the clock, seeing if any more ran off. They're checking some of that stuff. I don't know if you can do it. It's not like we have video for them to look at it for that. But one of Wingate's few blowout wins came against Queens December 15th, and then back-to-back with Mars Hill. 81. They went 91-59, then 81-55. So then they go into the Tusculum game, and they win 64-59. They just beat Wise 63-61, surviving a three-point attempt at the end of that one. They did blow out Limestone, so they have 3 big wins this year. They've got a 5-point win against Augusta. They have a 5-point win against Carson Newman. They blew out LMU in Newberry. They had a 3-point win against LR, a 7-point win against Pembroke, and they opened up the season with that 4-point loss to Francis Marion. So, again, it's been tight games for Wingate a lot of the season. And here they are in another one, but they have the ball, and they are up 2. And an afternoon in which the Pioneers have not utilized the bench, and the group that has been on the floor, they are going to go and look at how much time could be on the clock. They are doing a replay to see how much time will be on the clock. So they are with Jim Miller right here on the sideline, the officials, who swallowed their whistles on that last offensive possession. And we'll see if they swallow the whistle if Wingate runs a set or if Tusculum has to do something. Tusculum, though, has blown up here in the second half. They're just 1 for their last 9. In this half, they're just 10 for 35, 29% after opening up big in the first half, where they hit 11 of 22 shots, 7 of them from 3. And then, of course, of the 11 made shots, 10 assists. I'll give this credit to this staff, though. I mean, it's been pretty consistent. December 20th was heavily one-sided, and it was just unfortunate. When you're on the road, it was difficult. A difficult situation. Today has been more the norm, where you got to win. I mean, you got to come out and you got to make shots, and Tusculum has not made shots. Wingate comes out this second half. They've looked great. 15 of 28 shooting, 54%. Tusculum looks as if their legs have been a little weary, coming off a long layoff. Wingate has not had that long layoff. Wingate asked, hey, can we play the afternoon on Wednesday? Tusculum said, sure, let's play in the afternoon. So here we are, doubleheader. And we're still checking. They have added time to the clock, I think. We don't have an official replay monitor. Jim Miller's doing his best to get this done. Meanwhile, it's created a long timeout. I don't know who that benefits. It definitely does not benefit me. I don't need a long timeout. I have another doubleheader to get to later. Sure, we'll move games for you. Those kind of things, those situations. Meanwhile, Tusculum and Wingate, they're ready in men's action. They're ready to hit the floor. Coming up at the conclusion of our broadcast of Game 1, we will jump into our news between games break. Now, it's not the full 5 o'clock newscast. We'll probably have your full 5 o'clock newscast at the conclusion of the men's game. All right, so expect your full 5 o'clock newscast. What they're doing, I've just been told, they're checking to see if there was a 10-second violation against Wingate, I suppose, by the time the ball was touched. So it's a 10-second violation against Wingate. Tusculum has no timeouts. So they have gone and checked the clock. A 10-second violation on Wingate after the inbound. Okay, I had forgotten what had happened. It's been so long. But what I know is the Pioneers have the ball and 17 seconds to play. But should they get it on the baseline or should they get it back up here? So the 10-second violation happened on the baseline. So that is where Pioneers will inbound and have the full length of the floor to go. But with no timeouts left, 17 seconds. We burned some timeouts there here late in the fourth quarter. We will call some timeouts. Here we go. Hutchinson on the inbound, racing it into the front court. Wingate a foul to give. Hutchinson with 10. Hutchinson gives it up to Dixon. Dixon, three-ball Sherman, no. Rebound on the floor. Wingate ripping it away. Jump ball, arrow to Wingate. Bulldogs have the ball with 2 seconds, no timeouts left. Surviving the three-point attempt by the career day from D. Sherman, who got the look but couldn't get it to fall. What a great effort, though, and a great setup. So Wingate will call one of their timeouts. They still have everything left. And they survive it with 8 players today. They survive what appears to be survival. They lead it by 2 with 64-62. Into the basketball game for the Pioneers, Tessa Gibson will check in. Freshman out of Cleveland, Tennessee, out of Silverdale Baptist Academy. Check in to foul, likely. Final instructions for the Pioneers. That three-pointer went away in a big way here in this second half. Lost a little bit of their legs. The Pioneers will be on defense. The Wingate Bulldogs will have the basketball, 2.1, and will have to foul quickly. I've always been that type to say, just go ahead and foul before we throw it in. Find who you want to foul, just kind of hold them, not intentionally, but intentionally, unintentionally. Gibson can't get to Clark fast enough, does. 1.2 seconds, 0.9 comes off the clock. And so Clark, who has been perfect in the game at 8 for 8 at the line. Wingate 13 of 15 at the stripe in the game, 87%, that's getting it done. We'll go to the free throw line with the chance to make it 2 possessions, which she makes it a 3-point game on her first. Second free throw for Clark to put it away. Does. Eileen Hurley will check in, and that'll be the day. Clark with 26? Pretty good day. D. Sherman with 24, career best. 1 second. Dixon, and that'll do it. Another well-fought game by this Pioneer team, but they'll come up on the short end of it today. They wanted it. Didn't turn out for this Pioneer team against the Bulldogs. Tusculum falls to Wingate, falls to 5-9, and have fought back-to-back against the Wingate Bulldogs. Wingate, who has now won 12 in a row after their season-opening loss to Francis Marion, stand at 10-0 in the league. They are 12-1 on the season. We'll be joined by Pioneer coach Megan Price when our Pioneer postgame begins next. Your final, Wingate 66, Tusculum 62 on the Pioneer